And I think that's Anatomy of a Scandal. I think Anatomy of the Scandal is the only place that we can start this week because this is Rupert Friend and Siena Miller on TV doing. Okay, so Holly, you've seen this, but from what I can understand from the blurb that's been said about this, it is Rupert Friend, Sienna Miller playing some rich Tory couple. He's an MP, and there's a scandal that comes up because it turns out that he's been having an affair with one of his aides, but then it turns out to be a little bit more than that. But that is the synopsis that I have. Take it away, please.
That is correct. So in the beginning, you have sort of three key characters that's woven around. There's Sienna Miller, who is the attractive Oxford graduate wife of Rupert Friend, the MP, and at the same time a barrister whom you're aware of and who is clearly just a very good barrister. It rapidly becomes apparent that Rupert Friend's character is very, very pally with the Prime Minister, who might feel like a vaguely familiar sort of character. They had been at Oxford together and members of a rather raucous club full of rich, young men who caused, chaos and mayhem and destroyed things and didn't behave in a terribly nice fashion, which I don't know why that might sound familiar
That
again.
doesn't sound like reality at all.
Doesn't. Really far too ridiculous and far too foolish. But you get various clips back to all of their times at Oxford, which is where Sienna Miller had met Rupert Friend as well. And it sort of begins with the crashing arrival into their house one night of the Prime Minister's press fixer, saying, this is all coming out. You're going to have to, fess up. Basically, this is hitting the press. You've got to tell your children. You've got to be ready for this. In the middle of the night, and it rapidly, comes out that yes, he's been having an affair, and that it's all a consensual affair with a much younger 23-year-old aide, played by Naomi Scott, and they initially say, there's nothing more to it, is there? And he says, no, there isn't. And then prosecution ensues because an encounter, I don't think I'm giving anything away here, an encounter that he claims he believed was consensual. Naomi Scott claims she didn't believe was consensual. And it features the trial heavily, and it features various flashbacks to their time at Oxford, who they were, how they'd reached that point, and twists and turns ensue. I really liked it, I have to say. It was I'm trying to think who plays the barrister. You will remember her
Mitchell
name.
Dockery.
Yes, thank you.
Mitchell Dockery of Downton Abbey fame.
Yes. All I can ever say is Downton Abbey and Grace Mary, but I've never seen Downton Abbey, so why I remember that, who knows? And she was superb as the barrister, who's clearly had a difficult, interesting life as well, and her cases are all fascinating.
Yeah, even me say something on Michelle Dockery. I mean, she's somebody who I've never seen Downton Abbey, but obviously that's what she's most famously associated with. But everything else I've seen her in, I've just thought, oh my God, she's amazing. She was in a TV show called Good Behavior, and she's great in it. She's in a film called The Gentleman, and I've only seen clips of her in it, and I'm just thinking, oh my God, she's great. It makes me actually want to watch Downton, because I'm like, there's no way that's what she was doing in Downton. There's absolutely no way.
I keep thinking the same. It's must watch it because she's good, and everyone else around.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know if that actually happens at some point. I thought it was really, really good. It's I'd say couldn't possibly have any bearing on reality at all right now. No feelings of current affairs, at least.
Sorry,
keeps you.
carry on.
To turn say it keeps you. You see some things coming, you see other things not coming. Um, it's it's a really good watch. I really liked it. I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Oh, I've heard the term propulsive used, as in it just keeps going, and
Yeah,
next thing you know, you've watched the next episode, and you watch the next episode, and you watch the next episode, and
I've been
there's only six of them, right?
yeah, and they're short, relatively speaking. When one's used to the sort of epic hour-long thing, these are 40 minutes, I think.
Oh, oh, sweet,
So
sweet, sweet,
it
sweet.
has got yeah, it has got pace to it, and you can just sit yourself down and watch all of it in one go. And it is I couldn't stop. I had to get to the end. There was no two ways about it. Got to find out what happens.
Yeah.
Um,
So obviously with the, I mean, apart from the fact that it would tickle me endlessly if the scandal about this was like, the prime minister's press office shows up and goes, "All right, there was a birthday party. You were there. This is what's going." It would tickle me endlessly if that was the actual scandal. But apart from that, obviously this is a post Me Too show, because you have all these shows that are beginning to try um and what's the word I'm looking for? They reckon. They begin to reckon with the whole idea of this is what this sort of things happens, and these things happen, and this person thinks it was totally consensual. Someone is like, no, that's not what consent looks like, and so and some shows are a bit more heavy-handed than others. How do you think that this does in tackling those issues?
I think it handles it very well because it looks at it both from a personal perspective
Yep.
and a legal perspective, and asks the questions of, could you reasonably have been seen to believe yes or no? I could, what is, and it looks at it in all sorts of ways, but what, what can you understand? What is acceptable behaviour,
Mm.
and and what isn't? And it's obviously, well, scandal filled.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's I could actually watch it again. And I
Ooh.
could watch it again already. I rewatch things all the time, but this feels like something I could actually settle down with when I'm off and rewatch and see if
What?
there are things that I didn't
Well, with a
see. And
notebook and go. All right, cool. So yeah, yeah. If that happens, that
exactly
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
what's gone on, what's gone on. But I could very well see myself doing that
All
because
right.
because
Good stuff.
it's good viewing. So I would highly, highly recommend it to everybody, and particularly both of you, obviously.
All right, cool. So 4.5 stars for Anatomy of a Scandal. And now we